He was just a human mechanic on a distant alien station, fixing ships and minding his own business. Until one simple compliment to a towering ambassador set off an ancient binding tradition he never knew existed. Now, with powerful rivals determined to claim her and political forces moving against him, he must face a brutal trial where winning means love, survival, and the future of an entire species. If you are new to the channel, then please subscribe to the channel and like the video, and tell us where are you watching from. Now, let's jump into the story. Liam Crest knelt beside the open grav drive of the merchant freighter. The hum of the repair bay surrounded him. The smell of coolant, warm metal, and recycled air filled his lungs. He tightened the last coupling and gave the casing a final check. This was not the life he had imagined back on Earth. 6 months ago, Liam had been repairing cargo shuttles in a small hangar outside Sydney. Then came the offer from the orbital hub, Aurora Point. Triple the pay, a 1-year contract, a promise of adventure. He took it without hesitation. What no one had told him was that he would be the only human on the station. Over a dozen alien cultures moved through these halls, some tall and thin, others with scaled hides or multiple limbs. They watched him with quiet curiosity. Humanity was still new to the wider galaxy. Stories of Earth's harsh conditions and survival instincts traveled faster than actual humans. Liam found the idea amusing. He was just an engineer with good hands and patience for stubborn machinery. But to some, he was a representative of a species known for grit and adaptability. After logging his repair report, he left the bay and stepped into the main market causeway. Artificial daylight spilled across stalls selling goods from 100 worlds. Voices and scents mixed in the air. Traders haggled over crates of shimmering fruit. Metal artisans shaped jewelry under glowing lamps. Liam's eyes drifted across the crowd and stopped. She stood head and shoulders above nearly everyone. Her skin was the color of sun-warmed bronze. Her silver-white hair flowed in smooth waves, catching every beam of light as if it glowed from within. She wore a dark, fitted uniform that hinted at both elegance and strength. She noticed him. Liam almost looked away, remembering the unspoken rule on the hub, mind your own business. But before he could turn, she stepped forward. "You are the human engineer," she said. Her voice was calm, but carried a weight of command. Liam nodded. "That's me, Liam Crest, at your service." She introduced herself as Serenia Tal of the Corrine. Her transport, she explained, had a propulsion fault. The local crew could not fix it. "I can take a look," Liam replied. He gestured for her to lead the way. At her docked skimmer, he opened the access panel. The problem was simple: a misaligned thrust coil. His hands worked quickly. A few adjustments, and the system came back to life, purring in smooth rhythm. Serenia studied him in silence. Liam stood and wiped his hands. "Good as new," he said. Then, without thinking, the words left his mouth. "Your hair is incredible. It looks like moonlight dancing on the ocean." The silence stretched, her green eyes fixed on his. For a heartbeat, he wondered if he had just broken some unknown rule. Then, she reached into a pouch and produced a small crystal token. She placed it in his palm. "Meet me at first light," she said. Before he could ask why, she turned and walked away. The token's smooth surface shimmered under the station's lights. Liam had no idea what it meant, but the way others in the bay glanced at it made his stomach tighten. That night, Liam returned to his quarters in the quieter section of the hub. His room was simple: a bed, a desk, a wall screen with slow streams of Earth news. He set the crystal on the table and tried to focus on a meal packet. The next thing he knew, the door panel beeped. It slid open before he could respond. Serenia stepped inside, filling the space with her presence. Her eyes glowed brighter in the dim light. "You spoke words that cannot be undone," she said. Liam blinked. "I fixed your skimmer. You honored my essence crown," she said, touching her hair. "Among the Corin, such words awaken the binding call. It is an ancient right. You have chosen me, and I have accepted." Liam felt his mind struggle to process her words. "I just meant it as a compliment. Where I come from, that doesn't mean anything serious." She tilted her head slightly. "Among my people, it means everything. To see the beauty of the crown is to see the soul beneath it. The call cannot be ignored." Liam stepped back toward the desk. "So what happens now?" Serenia's expression did not waver. "Now, you prepare. You will stand in the right of proving. You will face any who would challenge your claim." "Claim," Liam said, his voice higher than intended. She took a step closer. "You have chosen, and I have answered. If you wish to remain by my side, you must prove yourself." The words seemed both like a command and a vow. Liam's heart pounded. He had come to Aurora Point for a year of work and adventure. He had not planned to be pulled into an alien tradition that sounded like a fight for his life. Yet when she turned to leave, he did not call her back to argue. He stared at the crystal token on the table. He had no idea what dawn would bring. Liam woke before the artificial sunrise. The light panels in his room shifted slowly from soft blue to pale gold. The crystal token Serenia had given him still rested on the desk. Its surface shimmered with an inner glow. He did not know if it was a gift, a warning, or a summons. When he stepped into the market causeway, the station felt different. Corin traders paused to look at him. Whispers followed him through the crowd. The token in his pocket felt heavier with every step. Serenia was waiting at the far end of the docking bay. She stood beside her skimmer, her silver hair catching the first light of the day. Without a word, she handed him a cup of steaming liquid. The aroma was strong and unfamiliar. "Drink," she said. Liam sipped. The taste was sharp and earthy. Warmth spread through him. "You are ready to hear the truth," Serenia said. "Your words yesterday were not small to my people. You honored my essence crown. It is the heart of who we are. To speak of it is to declare your recognition of a bond." Liam stared at her. "Where I'm from, it's just being polite. It doesn't mean I want to marry someone." Her expression stayed calm. "In our tradition, intent does not outweigh the act. The binding call has been awakened. Now, by law, others may challenge your right to stand beside me." Before Liam could reply, a shadow fell over them. A towering figure approached, taller and broader than Serenia. His bronze skin was darker, his silver hair cut short, and his armor moved like living metal. "Captain Vornek," Serenia said. Her tone was cool. The captain's deep voice carried across the bay. "So this is the human who claims Serenia Tall. I question his worth." Liam stepped back slightly. "I didn't claim anyone. There's been a misunderstanding." Vornek's eyes narrowed. "Misunderstanding or not, the right of proving must be honored. In 7 cycles, you will face the champion of my choosing. If you fall, Serenia will consider a more fitting partner." Liam opened his mouth to argue, but Serenia raised a hand. "I accept the terms," she said. Vornek's lips curved in a cold smile. "Train him if you wish. It will not matter." He turned and walked away, his armor catching the light like a warning. Liam looked at Serenia. "Why didn't you refuse?" "Because refusal would dishonor both of us," she said. "You have stepped into our customs. Now you must walk through them. The next hours passed in a blur. Serenia led Liam to a training hall hidden deep in the station. The space was lined with tall columns, mats for sparring, and racks of weapons. The air smelled faintly of metal and oil. "We begin with movement," she said. "You are smaller than most Korin. That is your strength. Learn to avoid, to endure, and to strike when the moment comes." Liam's first attempts were clumsy. Serenia's strikes were controlled but fast. Each time he failed to block, she corrected his stance and made him try again. Sweat ran down his back. "Your people evolved on a high-gravity world," she said between drills. "Your muscles are denser, your reflexes sharper. Use them." By the third hour, Liam's arms ached and his legs felt heavy. But he began to notice small successes. He could dodge quicker. When they paused for water, he asked, "What happens if I lose?" "Then Vornek gains the right to court me," she said simply. "And you will be marked as unfit in the eyes of my people." Liam frowned. "And if I win?" Her gaze met his. "Then no one can challenge you again. The bond will be sealed." They trained until the artificial night cycle began. The glow of the station's outer rings filtered into the hall. Liam dropped onto a bench, breathing hard. "You learn quickly," Serenia said. "But speed will not be enough. Vornek will choose a champion skilled in overwhelming force. You must be ready for more than strength." Before Liam could answer, the lights flickered. A low hum rolled through the walls. The temperature began to rise. Serenia moved to a control panel. "The atmosphere settings are changing," she said. "Oxygen levels dropping. Heat rising to Korin homeworld conditions." Liam's chest tightened. The air felt thin. Each breath took effort. "Is this part of the training?" "No," she said, her voice sharper. "This is sabotage. Someone wants to see how quickly you break." Liam tried to focus. His vision blurred at the edges. The heat pressed against him like a weight. Serenia grabbed his arm. "Stay on your feet. If they see you collapse, they will use it against you." After long minutes, the lights shifted again, and the temperature began to ease. Liam pulled in a deep breath. "Vornek," Serenia said quietly. "He is moving faster than I expected." Liam wiped sweat from his brow. "He's trying to end this before I'm ready." She nodded. "Then we must prepare faster. You will train every day, and you will learn more than how to fight. You must learn how to survive our games." Liam stood slowly. His legs were still unsteady, but there was a new weight in his thoughts. He was no longer just a visitor in this station. He had been pulled into a trial that would test his body, his will, and his place in this world. And though he had not chosen it, he could not walk away now. The artificial day cycle had barely begun when Liam was jolted awake by a sharp knock on his door. When it slid open, a small figure with a gleaming, segmented body stepped inside. Its 6 limbs moved with quick precision, and its many eyes blinked in different directions. "You are the human," the creature said in a voice that clicked and rolled. "I am Tikrin, chief mechanic of Aurora Point. I hear you are in trouble." Liam sat up, rubbing his eyes. "Trouble seems to find me lately. Who told you?" "Everyone," Tikrin replied. "Captain Vornek's ambition is known. He wants control over the Korin bloodlines. You have become an obstacle." Liam frowned. "I didn't ask to be part of this." Tikrin's eyes shifted toward the crystal token on the desk. "Perhaps not, but you are now the center of a much larger game. If you lose the right of proving, Vornek will not stop at claiming Serenia. He will use the victory to strengthen his hold on the council." Serenia entered then, her tall form filling the doorway. "Tikrin can help us. His knowledge of the station's systems is unmatched. And he understands that strength is not only in muscle." Tikrin stepped forward. "I can build something for you, a device to help you withstand the environmental settings of the arena. But you must also train your mind. The right is as much about endurance and adaptation as it is about combat. They moved to a hidden workshop deep in the maintenance sectors. The space was cluttered with tools, parts, and half-assembled machines. The air smelled faintly of ozone. Tikrin placed a small case on the table. Inside were tools no larger than Liam's fingers, designed for delicate work. "We will make an environmental compensator," Tikrin explained. "It will help your body handle heat and thin air for longer periods. Not enough to make you invincible, but enough to give you a chance." Liam studied the tools. "I can modify the housing to hide it in plain sight. Something small, something I can wear without anyone noticing." Serenia crossed her arms. "While you do that, I will teach you about your opponent. Vornik's champion will almost certainly be Drave, one of his most decorated warriors." She activated a holographic image. Drave was massive, his bronze skin marked with deep scars. His weapon of choice was a heavy staff designed for crushing force. "Drave relies on strength and intimidation," Serenia said, "but his power fades if the fight drags on. His reaction time slows when facing unpredictable movements." Tikrin tapped the table with two limbs. "Humans are unpredictable by nature. Use that. Make him react to you. Change your rhythm." The next days blurred together. Mornings began with training in the hall. Serenia pushed Liam to his limits. She drilled him on footwork, rapid changes in direction, and staying calm under pressure. Afternoons were spent in the workshop. Tikrin guided Liam's hands as they soldered microcircuits and fitted cooling channels into the device's frame. One evening, as they worked, Serenia studied a data slate. "Liam," she said quietly, "there is something you should know. The compatibility scans taken after the call was awakened show that you and I could create viable offspring. It is rare, perhaps once in many generations." Liam paused in his work. "So this isn't just about tradition, it's about survival." "Yes," she said. "If we succeed, it could mean hope for my people. That is why Vornik fears you. He wants to control every union that could restore our—" The weight of her words settled on him. He was not only fighting for her, he was fighting for a future neither of them had imagined. As news of the coming right spread, something unexpected happened. Beings from other species began visiting the workshop. A tall, feathered trader brought cooling cloths. A reptilian merchant offered nutrient packs for endurance. They came quietly, but their presence was a sign. "You have become a symbol," Tikrin said one night. "If a human can win the right, it will show the council that the old ways are not the only path. It will prove that strength can come from unity, not control." On the 6th cycle, the environmental compensator was complete. It was a smooth band of metal designed to fit around Liam's forearm. It hummed faintly when activated, regulating body temperature and improving oxygen intake. Liam turned it over in his hands. "This will help, but I want one more tool." Tikrin tilted his head. "What kind?" Liam held up a small disc. "An override pulse. If Vornik pushes the arena's environment too far, this will reset it to Earth normal for 30 seconds. It's not long, but it could be enough." Serenia's eyes narrowed. 30 seconds could decide everything. As the final night before the right fell, the workshop was quieter than usual. Liam sat across from Serenia, their eyes meeting in the dim light. "Are you ready?" she asked. "Ready as I'll ever be," he said. "If we succeed, it will change more than just our lives," she said. "It will open doors my people have kept closed for centuries." Liam reached for her hand. "Then we'd better make sure we succeed." At dawn, they stepped into the central concourse. Dozens of eyes followed them. The arena waited. The air was thick with anticipation. Liam's pulse quickened. He was just a mechanic from Earth. But today, He would fight for more than survival. He would fight for the chance to reshape two worlds. The arena was an ancient ring of stone, built before Aurora Point had become a thriving hub. Tiers of seating circled the combat floor. Beings from every corner of the station had gathered. The hum of voices was low, but full of anticipation. Liam walked beside Serenia toward the preparation gate. The environmental compensator on his arm hummed softly. The small override disc was hidden in his belt. "Remember," Serenia said quietly, "stay moving. Use your endurance. Make him chase you." Liam nodded. His heart was steady now. The fear that had followed him for days had shifted into a focused resolve. The council elder stepped onto a raised platform at the edge of the arena. His voice carried across the space. "Today, we witness the rite of proving. Drave of House Vornek will face Liam Crest of Earth. The trial ends in submission or incapacity. Lethal force is forbidden." A gate across the ring opened. Drave stepped out. He was even larger in person than in the holographic image. His staff rested easily in one massive hand. His eyes locked on Liam with cold precision. The signal was given. Drave moved first. His staff swept low in a wide arc. Liam jumped back, feeling the rush of air where the blow passed. For the first minutes, Liam focused on evasion. Each strike from Drave hit the stone floor with force that sent vibrations up Liam's legs. He could hear the crowd react with each near miss. Drave's movements were powerful but predictable. Liam began to see the openings Serenia had described. When Drave swung high, Liam would drop low and pivot away. When Drave tried to corner him, Liam would shift angles and break free. Between strikes, Drave's voice was low. "You fight well for someone who did not choose this." Liam kept his eyes on him. "And you fight well for someone who doesn't seem to want to win." Drave's expression did not change, but his next strike was slower. "Vornek's path will end my people. I serve because I must, but I see another way." Liam understood then. Drave was not his enemy. Vornek was, and the trial could be more than a fight. The heat in the arena began to rise. The air grew thinner. Liam felt the pressure in his chest. Vornek was adjusting the environment to Koran homeworld levels. Liam tapped the side of the compensator. It eased the strain, but not completely. He knew he had only so much time before exhaustion set in. He spoke low so only Drave could hear. "I can expose him, but I need you to sell the fight. When I move, throw me toward the council platform." Drave gave a small nod. Then he launched into a series of fierce attacks, each one driving Liam back toward the edge of the arena. Liam waited for the right moment. Then he pressed the override disc. Cool, oxygen-rich air flooded the arena for 30 seconds. His lungs filled easily again. He surged forward, striking Drave's staff with all his strength. Drave blocked, but allowed the blow to spin him sideways. In one swift motion, he grabbed Liam and hurled him across the ring toward the council platform. Liam landed hard, but rolled to his feet. He sprinted to the environmental control panel beside the council elder. In one motion, he slapped a second device onto the system. Data flooded the large display screens around the arena. The crowd fell silent as the information appeared. The records showed that multiple species, including humans, were genetically compatible with the Korean. It showed that Vornek had hidden this data for years to control every possible pairing. Serenia stepped forward from the gate, her voice carrying across the stunned arena. "This is the truth. Our survival does not depend on isolation. It depends on connection. Captain Vornek has betrayed that truth for his own power." The crowd erupted into shouts. The council elder turned to Vornek. "Do you deny these records?" Vornek's face twisted with anger. Fabrications, he said. Drave stepped to the center of the ring, his voice deep and steady. The records are real. I have seen them, and I stand with the human. The symbolism of Vornek's own champion standing against him was not lost on anyone. Support for Liam spread through the crowd like fire. The council elder raised his hand. The right is complete. Liam Crest's claim stands. Captain Vornek is stripped of authority and will face judgment. Serenia walked to Liam's side. It is done, she said. 3 months later, Liam stood on the observation deck of a diplomatic vessel. Below, the blue and green sphere of Earth grew larger in the viewport. Serenia joined him, her hand resting in his. "Are you ready?" she asked. "As ready as I can be," he said. "First time back on Earth as an ambassador, and with you." Their return was more than symbolic. They carried with them the proof of what the Council had seen that day. They carried hope for two peoples who had been worlds apart. When they stepped onto the spaceport's arrival platform, the welcome was warm. Diplomats, scientists, and curious onlookers came to meet the pair who had changed interspecies relations forever. In the months that followed, exchanges of knowledge and culture began between Earth and the Corin. Research teams worked together to explore genetic compatibility, not just for survival, but for shared futures. 1 year after the trial, Liam and Serenia returned to Aurora Point. It had been renamed Harmony Station. The markets were now filled with beings from different worlds working side by side. As they walked through the plaza, Serenia glanced at Liam with a quiet smile. "When you spoke of my hair that day, did you ever imagine this?" Liam shook his head. "I was just telling the truth. I didn't know it would start all this." She took his hand. Sometimes the smallest truth changes everything. Together they stepped forward into the station's bright light, carrying the certainty that what had begun as a simple compliment had become a bridge between worlds.